Discord can be weird sometimes. That's for sure.
How you guys doing? Everyone having a nice Thanksgiving weekend?
Yeah, I was just saying how I haven't had my Thanksgiving weekend yet, but I'm kind of preparing because I've been like the crypto known as the crypto person in the family, so I'm getting ready for those questions.
Dan, in where you are in, I guess, China, do you celebrate with I guess your wife and their family Thanksgiving, or is that just American
No.
tradition you've kind of left behind?
Yeah, we don't. They don't. There's no Thanksgiving here really. They know the holiday, but they don't. No one really celebrates it.
Yeah, I kind of went through that on Thursday because I host a daily Polygon Hangout space with the two other Polygon friends, and we still went live on Thursday, and all the international folks were like, yeah, "That's not a holiday. This is just a regular day. Let's have a good conversation." And we did, but it was like I have to go consume some tryptophan. I'll be back in a few hours.
Yeah, they go hard for Christmas here though. I mean, Christmas is it's still a holiday in China, so it's kind of cool. But the real one is Chinese New Year. That's a in February or January, depending on the moon. So we got a big hangout here today, guys. We'll get into it in a bit here, but I hope everyone's having a nice beginning to the weekend.
Oh yeah,
Got lots to cover tonight.
yeah. How did everybody make their way through the sandbox experience? That was a lot of fun making my way through that one.
I uh, I wish I had been able to really play it more. It just doesn't really work that well on Mac. Like
Oh,
I can't. How can you spend? Well, I know. I mean, there's according to their stats, 95% of their player base is on Windows, but like that might be because their build sucks on Mac. It's kind of a
hmm.
self-fulfilling prophecy there. So that's why we want to make our games truly cross-platform. So you don't have to have you know horrible experience on Mac.
Okay.
But glad to hear people were completing it. I saw lots of completions on on X. Lots of people doing the Enigma quest. And yeah, we got GFA here. We'll hear from the Gotchi Farming about. I know they have a feedback form for those friends that
Yes.
did complete it.
GM.
GM.
GM, sir.
Yeah, thanks, Jefe, for the introduction. Yeah, we saw a lot of people playing, and yeah, I'm very frustrated too because I'm on Mac, and yeah, we are like the shared part of people not being able to see everything, and then the experience. Yeah.
Yeah, I know you were saying that Sandbox is going to be sharing some stats about like how many players played it and some engagement numbers. Do we have those yet, or we need to maybe wait another week or so?
Yeah, we are gonna be able to get it early next week. We should have all the numbers, like the number of game played, traffic, unique players, that kind of stuff. So that's something we would like to share in detail communication with the community and the DAO as a feedback of the investment put in that project. And as I mentioned last time, it's not over yet because there is still a multiplayer experience that should
Mm-hmm.
be released early 2024. So different formats, like the single player was more like educational. The multiplayer is more like playing in teams with a leaderboard and a lot of new features that are allowed by the new versions of the game maker. So yeah, uh, different spirit. Yeah, but yeah, we should get some good numbers beginning of next week.
Nice, nice. I
And
see Hefe here has dropped the
mhm.
feedback form.
Yeah, thank you, Jefe. So yeah, it's quite simple. It's not very long, but yeah, please guys share all the bugs, things you saw, things that you think would have been highlighted maybe differently or think you liked also. And yeah, we would be very happy to collect that, even being able to integrate it in the multiplayer if we can. And yes, about Sandbox, we made a debrief with them and they were very happy. It seems like the numbers are very good about the experience. Even with a big VIP experience they have on other side, so it's very nice. They understood I think the power of the Aavegotchi community, and yeah, we will share it when we will get those numbers.
Very
Great work
cool.
on the lore. Like I was really impressed, like playing through the whole lore of finding your grandpa's lens post, and then finding his hardware wallet, and then showing up in the Gotchiverse, and going on this this quest to kind of reveal the truth, kind of thing, was really awesome. And then also at the end fighting all those liquidators.
Yeah. Yeah, we really wanted to try to mix a lot of pieces of the blockchain ecosystem, trying to put all of that together. We could have pushed more, but we got some blockers, so we made as much as we can. But yes, the idea was really to imagine what could be the world using some blockchain tools in the future, and trying to bring that into the Aavegotchi lore. So if you liked it, guys, we are very happy. And yeah, I think it opens some doors for people in the community and the DAO to explore under the control, of course, of the lore masters, if I could say that. But yeah, that's really nice. We got the possibility to do that.
What was your like favorite part of like building this whole experience out, or something that you took away from this experience that was like really meaningful? Yeah, what was your like favorite part?
Our favorite part was to hide little details for the Aavegotchi community in the yeah, exactly what Shona just posted. That was our favorite part, to do the little bazaar. Uh, there are a lot of stuff hidden in the experience. I think even, I don't know if you mentioned, guys, but when you talk to Kodedan in the Citadel, you heard the GM of
Yeah, that was
beginning of
nice.
Hangout, that kind of stuff. That's all little things we love to do. So there were the big build and all the mechanics to deploy, but all that little detail, that's what we really like to try to integrate in the experience and the story.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the little Easter
Nadiel,
eggs.
yeah, and there is one nobody found yet, I guess. So still hidden.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. Nadiel just asked, how do I get to the fake Gotchi gallery in the sandbox? Well, you need to play the game, and you need to well to finish, to defend the Gotchiverse from the liquidators, and it's your reward. When it's done, you'll gain access to the fake Gotchi gallery, where we try to represent as much as we can um, as much as we can all the creators of fake Gotchis. As mentioned, the maps can evolve, so I think there would be a turnover, as everybody can be represented over here. That's the same for the guild space. So yeah.
Did who got their hands on some of those legendary wearables though? Maybe there's some alpha there, but you guys also had some really cool wearables for sale in the sandbox marketplace as well. Aavegotchi collection, right?
Yes, that was very fun to do too. So two are very related to two OG sets already existing in Aavegotchi. So we just had to try to manage to bring that in Sandbox. And the last one, the pet set, is really a creation. So that was very fun to do. It's Steph, which was our leading creative artist. who created that, and I think it's awesome the way it looks in the experience. It's really nice, and I don't know what you think about it, but I really like it.
Well, I can't afford the real Bushido Gotchi helmet, so I had to go buy the sandbox one. So I'm very happy.
Yeah, yeah. So you should be you are eligible for the graphical novel.
Yes, and I mean, so
I
anybody who missed that, maybe that's important to reiterate because there's still quite a few pieces left there, and they're very limited, especially the legend and legendary items. Stellar Hobbs, you guys have worked with Stellar Hobbs, right, to create this like amazing graphic novel that'll be like very bespoke for these legendary NFTs, right?
Yeah, exactly. And we didn't know Stellar was doing as much things as we understood last week. But yeah,
He's been very busy.
yeah, I guess. And we asked a lot of things to him, not knowing like he was very busy. So, but yeah, the result is really cool, and it's being finalized as we speak. And yeah, the snapshot should be taken soon, guys. So don't sleep on that.
Yeah, definitely don't sleep on that. There's quite a few pieces left. If someone, maybe I'll see if I can drop the link at some point for the Sandbox Marketplace. But I went through the process. It wasn't too bad, getting a little ETH on mainnet and swapping over for some sand and then doing that. And the portion of these sales are going to go to the DAO Treasury, right? I think.
Yeah, exactly. I can share the visual, but yeah, it's 55% of all sales coming back from to the DAO. That's a decision we took. I think that's part of a forum discussion opened by Oliver Spoon, I guess,
Mm-hmm.
about what should be a good discussion to have. I guess what should be discussed when a proposal is made on the DAO about the returns estimated and how it should be shared. So, but yes, so far the sales are quite good in comparison with what is done on Sandbox Marketplace when an experience is released. I think for a non-VIP experience like us, we have like of the best numbers they have in 2023. So
Oh wow.
it's quite cool. And also, it's not over as with the multiplayer experience. Equipment owners will have some benefits. So, with the release in 2024, having an Aavegotchi piece of equipment could be needed. I couldn't say
Ooh.
more, but that could help you in the experience. You would not be blocked if you don't have it, but it could help you or give you some special access to some gated spaces, that kind of stuff. So, well, that's part of the overall thing.
There's some
And
alpha there,
I
friends.
saw, yeah, a bit of alpha. I saw, yeah, like in asking for more alpha. I guess I have the right to say that as Jesse told me, but I think as we speak, Pixelcraft is
Hmm.
buying their first estate in Sandbox. So that's a massive release, I guess. Maybe
Yeah,
Kododan, you would like to tell a bit more about that? Yeah.
sure. Yeah, happy to talk about that a little bit. Basically, because you guys spend so much time and effort getting this experience live, Sandbox gave you what, like a month or so of like a free parcel. But the experience that that GFA built in Sandbox is quite large, and it warranted an entire estate. So after the experience has ended now, we obviously don't want to see all this hard work kind of go away and just not be recognized in Sandbox anymore. So Pixelcraft is gonna do the work to get the estate first, and we're thinking at some point maybe we'll make a DAO proposal to see if the DAO wants to hold the parcel, And I know that GFA has a lot more plans, like you mentioned, the multiplayer experience earlier. So I think the GFA should basically manage the sandbox parcel on behalf of Aavegotchi DAO. But just because time is of the essence here, Pixelcraft is going to pick it up first through an OTC deal, and then we'll see what we want to do with the parcel after that. But we just want to make sure that this experience doesn't go away on Sandbox. That would be tragic.
Oh
Yeah,
man, this
that's
is
massive.
epic.
In any case, in any case, I think that's very nice. We found some temporary options like to get the experience live, but I think the best opportunity here is to have it on a land. Everybody can go. It's related in the game experience on the website, so it's very nice to see that there is a continuity here, and that with the work we made, we got that support from PC. So it's for the GFA group, it's very nice to see that happening. Yeah.
Yeah, Light Piglet has a good question. Will we need another parcel for the multiplayer experience, or is it all done on the same
No,
parcel?
no. Right now, PC bought 3x3 estates, so basically it's 9 plots. The single player is 4 plots, so it's 2x2.
Okay.
So yeah, the multiplayer it's 1x1, so 5 out of 9 plots would be used. So even if we want to create other experiences, it's open.
Let's do it. Let's do some more. Keep it coming.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm surprised you guys could fit so much on the parcel estate you had, temporary from Sandbox. Like, I think it's because you can build above and below as well. It seems like, right?
Yeah, to be honest, when we told that to them, they were quite unhappy because they said, "Okay, you are gonna have a lot of things on the land, and the game maker client in his actual state, it should be a bit difficult." But with the evolution they made from March to now, it worked. And yes, we used as much as we can from the top to bottom of the parcel, because one parcel it's 4 1x1 parcel, but you get 96 block of height. It's like a cube, you know. So we decided like we would do 4 levels, trying to represent the most iconic part of the Gotchiverse. Yeah, and yeah, it's nice. It worked.
Yeah, well done. Honestly, impressed.
Well, we're going to switch gears a little bit here, guys, but I know you guys wanted to get some feedback from the community on the experience. So above here,
I'll drop it again.
here. Yeah. Everyone, if you did complete it or maybe even didn't complete it, played it, definitely, or weren't able to play it, definitely give your feedback about the experience. This will really help us and GFA continue improving this for the multiplayer experience coming.
Thank you very much, guys, for the space today, and yeah, let's continue building.
Oh yeah. We got some alpha on Sandbox as well, but it'll be coming out next week. There's a little bit more that I think you guys you might know, but definitely a little bit more Sandbox alpha to drop next week. So that's gonna be pretty cool. I think Sebastian will be happy, and we'll have
guess.
so that's gonna be cool. All right, let's talk real quick about just all the game stuff that's been happening this week and the last week. First up, we got Gotchi Battler. Gotchi Battler had the first tournament, and it's live, and all the training is happening. And I see there's been like 1,000 or more games, probably more by now. I just wanted to let everyone know that Gotchi Battler is live. We don't have it up at the carousel yet on the app, but it is live in the game center. So if you guys want to go over there and play Gotchi Battler, give it a try, and we can talk about that for a bit. If anyone here has played it or has any thoughts on Gotchi Battler, the
I
chat has
got to play
been
it. Oh,
yeah.
sorry.
Go for it.
Yeah, I got to play it. I played it during one of the hangouts, the morning hangouts, and I was surprised. I did not think or understand. I'm smooth brain, as everybody knows. I didn't think it was going to be that in depth. So, like, actually picking my team and then watching them duke it out, Unity style, was pretty cool. So, yeah, I was able to show it. They were having a really tense conversation in the background, but I really enjoyed it, and I thought it looked pretty cool. Shout out to Gotchi Bulls because apparently his team kicked my butt when he ran a simulation. So it's cool that you can run simulations against test teams and then other, I guess, teams that are out there. So it's been a fun experience and it looks really cool.
Yeah, I love like I'm not a huge fan of idle games, but I mean it's surprisingly fun to just like set your team and then choose the team to fight and then let it go and kind of I was eating lunch the other day and just watching my Gotchis battle it out. It was pretty fun.
My question is, will renting be a part of this tournament? Like, if I go rent a whole bunch of OP gotchis, will the split occur for rent? You know, like if those gotchis on a team win money in this competition, would a split occur like that? Is the infrastructure in place for that, or no? Not at this point.
I see Immaterial is is listening. Maybe he can chime in text here if he can't come up. That is probably the big question right now is how lending is going to, what role it's going to play.
Yeah, like Piglet's saying that the money would go to the pocket. So I'm not sure if the split could work like that, but I know we do have ghost splits for gotchis for I guess rentals for Gotchiverse stuff. So I've preemptively rented some pretty hard hitting gotchis, hoping this works out. But if it doesn't, they're still cheap rentals. But it's just an interesting mechanic to see at play.
Yeah. There's also, I think the rental has a limit right now. You can only rent one gotchi at a time. Is that, I think we set that limit a while back because people were abusing the rentals in the Gotchiverse. But I don't know. Maybe we need to remove that rule now for this tournament. Have people been affected by that, trying to play Gotchi Battler?
From my perspective, no, but I own like 80 pieces of land. I remember it was like 1+, you can get one gotchi plus the number of land.
Yeah, true. I forgot. I thought it was one per, but it's one per piece of land you own. So fun. So a little bit, it's kind of a benefit for the landowners in a way.
Yeah, it also, because this is a huge prize pool. If rentals do take into effect, like in this tournament, I've already talked about this outside of our community, and people are interested. But if they know they can rent gotchis and then potentially make rewards, that opens a whole new thing. The worry of extraction is still there, but I think that these people are Polygon degens, so if you can get them in the door, they would probably stay.
Yeah, it's a cool way to experience some of the rewarding aspects of Aavegotchi without having to actually own your own. And you can kind of it's a little bit more fair, I guess, because everyone has to learn the rules, and you can kind of win by having like a little bit of a skill advantage if you take the time to learn all the rules.
Yeah, I also think once you look at the mechanics of the game, like I tested my gotchis against like the different like kind of set teams that he has there. And if I went up to legendary, I got wrecked. So it's like now I'm thinking, oh man, I need new wearables.
Yeah.
And then the whole Orium rental revamp that's happening. The wearable marketplace is gonna explode for rentals if you can, like start renting and beefing up your team to be better at these kind of idle battles.
Totally.
Hefe, have you tried it yet or no?
I set up my tournament team because I think there's a temporary tournament or a what do you call it, like a test tournament right now, right? So I set up my team. I haven't actually messed around with it too much, but That's something I'm definitely gonna have a look at and I just kind of randomly place my gotchis because I used to play Axie Infinity and it kind of reminds me of like how you set up your team. So kind of took the same approach, but we'll see if it works out. I'm gonna mess around with it a bit more and get a better feel of it. But it sounds like a lot of fun, like a Pokemon style kind of battler, and also the fact that I think there's 100K worth of rarity farming rewards that are going to be put towards this tournament, right? That's pretty cool.
Yeah, the prize pool is 100K, and I believe it's going to start after rarity farming principle ends. So we got plenty of time to stress test it, do a couple test tournaments, make sure all the bugs are out, and then finally do the big 100K tournament. So I think, yeah, in the future, you're totally right. We should make some noise and get people interested in renting the gotchis and renting wearables and things to really do the best they can in this game. It's really
Yeah, we've
gonna
actually
get
been
quite
advising
interesting.
me and Goobs, a guy who came in and he was like looking for the best strategy with Aavegotchi. He ended up buying a whole bunch of gotchis, but he's like gonna kill them all. He ended up killing them all to put into one for XP. Yeah, but I was trying to warn him. I was like,
Savage.
maybe hold them. Yeah, he was very savage about it. I was like, maybe hold them because there's going to be this team thing, and you might want a strong team, or you can rent them and make it happen. And I want to shout out like Soju. He said something up above. I think the team structure is a good way to encourage more gotchi ownership and rental activity. Real quickly, Immaterial, can you drop the link to the tournament or to the site itself? Because I know people have made their teams. Hefe, if your team's already created, I'm going to search it and see how we line up one-on-one in a demo real quick.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, it's called Fake Intelligence Agency. It won't say Hefe's team.
I like that. All right, I'll go over there.
And you can set up multiple teams. I saw No Futuristic. I saw No Futuristic V2. Seems like you got a couple in the running, right?
Yeah, I was testing. I wanted to see what my gotchis look like, the strongest gotchis, my weakest gotchis, my rented gotchis. I was just kind of looking around. How do I choose a opponent that's not the computer? Like, how can I look for Hefe?
I was wondering that too. Is it possible to train against another set team, or is it right now it's only fake teams? I think it might only be like the preset teams that he's made right now. But I think he will eventually let us play again, like practice against other human-made teams.
Oh, he's coming up.
Here we go.
GM.
Hey, sir.
Hey, Jim, can you guys hear me?
Oh yeah.
Hey, sorry, I just had to step out for a minute. But yeah, you can't fight other teams directly right now, only in tournaments. So for now, you can just do the training and set up battles against training teams. Later on, we can look at like we talked about having like a challenge mode where you can, which is basically like another kind of version of matchmaking, where you can do like one-on-one battles. But for this initial version, it's just going to be the tournaments and the training.
Nice. That's when do you think the next tournament will be?
So I'm literally just trying to set one up now. One of the problems I've got right now is that I just pushed a kind of like balance patch out, which changed a load of the mechanics. So now if you go and view the battles of the previous tournament, some of them have different results to what they're saying. So I need to find a way to basically kind of store the result. And so when you come back and see like an old battle where the game logic was slightly different, you see it how it was at the time rather than what it is with the new mechanics, if that makes sense. But I'm literally just I'm uploading another tournament now, so we'll do another test one kind of this weekend, and then I'll start to look at doing some with some actual kind of prize pools because we've got some bounties. We've got some die for bounties, so I can start putting up some small kind of prize pools.
Awesome, man. Very cool. Love the logo too. But who did the logo? I remember you were
Yeah,
asking in the
so
chat.
Lagan did the
Nice.
logo, and he also did the art for training Gotchis, which I fucking love as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, he did a great job coming in. It was one of the things that I just overlooked at the beginning when I was doing all the budgeting. So I actually had to spend some of the bounty money on getting that art done, but it was definitely worth it. Like, I love that logo; it's really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it's neat. Great use of the font. All right, well, we'll have a new tournament here in a few minutes, friends.
Yeah, so let me go back to kind of uploading it. I've just got a couple of scripts to run, and then I'll let you guys know when it's ready to register.
All right, we'll keep going here then. Another bit of alpha to drop here is that finally, Gotchi Guardians is also going to be getting its own little playtest very soon here, fam. We've been doing internal Pixelcraft playtests, and they've been going pretty well. Still some issues on the networking side, maybe, that we might face during the playtest, but we're just so ready to let you guys have a whack at this game. I personally am really enjoying it. I'm a sucker for tower defense games, so I think a lot of you guys are really gonna enjoy it. So we're having our first playtest next weekend, December 1st to the 4th. And this is a Discord only announcement for now. We'll be putting out the tweets and stuff for this next week. But you guys get the alpha here because you're chilling in the Hangout here on a nice Thanksgiving weekend. And join us as iOS and Android. It's gonna be Unity downloadable. So we'll put it in the game center and they'll let you download the build from there, and then you'll just connect on your PC. Will Gotchi Guardians have multiplayer mode? It is multiplayer, friend. So Gotchi Guardians is basically a tower defense survival game where you're playing against 7 other people simultaneously, and you're sending liquidators at each other, and you're frantically trying to upgrade your towers and keep your Gotchi alive. That's basically the game in a nutshell. So it's we actually don't have a single player mode, although you can play it single player versus 7 other AIs, which honestly is also pretty fun. Yeah, the initial inspiration back at the beginning of this year actually came from one of the games I used to play in Warcraft 3, which was Legion TD. But Legion TD had a lot of issues, which I think we've basically solved quite a few of them in Gotchi Guardians, and it's so fun to play. So I'm really excited to share that game with you guys, and we'll have that first playtest will be coming next weekend.
Oh, next weekend. That's real soon. Dang.
Oh yeah.
That's exciting. I'm a tower defense fan, so I'm gonna love this.
Honestly, even if you're not, you're gonna get converted because it's like it's. I remember we were in Lyon doing I think it was this was the second playtest, and there's like a bunch of FPS guys like watching us play it, and then by the end of the 2-hour playtest, like everyone in the gaming cafe was was playing it with us and like really enjoying it.
And I see someone did mention, like iOS mobile. That's eventually, is it going to be available as a mobile game as well?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Wow.
Next year is it'll be Unity desktop first, and then we've designed it basically as a mobile game. Like if you guys watched Yellow Panther's stream the other day, he literally said this is like the perfect mobile game because it really is. It's lightweight, it's slow paced while also being kind of frenetic. So you don't have to like have really quick reactions all the like that might be harder on a mobile. So it's really nice. It's kind of a relaxed yet intense game. So I think it'll be very fun on mobile. We'll have a leaderboard elo system. For this playtest, it's not going to have any of that. It's literally just the playtest. There won't be a leaderboard. There won't be anything. It's really just to give everyone a first whack at Gotchi Guardian. But down the line, there definitely will be rankings and leaderboards. So that is, yeah, we'll put a tweet out announcement in the Discord here next week, but I just wanted to let you guys know that Gotchi Guardians is finally going to be available as a playtest. And before we get into the IRL stuff, I do see people asking about Art Basel, and we got Lost Local here. I also did want to give a shout out to Gotchi Crawler, aka now the name is dropped, and the little reveal they did. I don't know if we got anyone from the team there, but they dropped a nice like little piece of lore about the story of Dropped. So shout out to that, and I know lots of people have been playing Gotchi Crawler Dropped, enjoying it. So yeah, we're really looking forward to seeing what is on their roadmap and how that's going to play out. Because it's I think it's also a very, very fun game. I've enjoyed my runs through the dungeon. And dungeon crawler roguelites are also like a very cool category to be in. Yeah, it's a great multiplayer experience. So shout out to the Dropped team. And I did see someone mention Lickies. We got this hangout just going to become the game discussion call. But so Lickies, I do not know the exact date of when we're going to have a test flight. I think it's going to be probably right around Art Basel time. The team is working really hard to get Lickies finalized, and yeah, it's looking really good. So this is probably a good cue if Lost Local, if you're on the call, you want to chat a little bit about Lickies and Art Basel. Oh, yeah. Real quick, just the last thing I gotta mention here about Spirit Force Arena. We are having our moment in the sun in Philippines right now at the YGG Summit. Tons of people are playing Spirit Force Arena at the summit because of our integration with Hyperplay. So that's very cool. And we're also listed on a new platform called Carve. They haven't announced it yet. We'll be announcing that next week. But we are listed on Carve, and they have quite a serious player base over there. So looking forward to seeing what happens when we finally make that announcement. And there's some co-marketing activities that are going to be happening as well with that listing next week. So yeah, take it away, sir.
My mute button, and I was so far away. How's everyone doing?
Hey, sir.
Good morning.
How are you? You
Awesome.
in Miami?
I am in just a little north of Miami. I'm staying with some, I call them family, but we're not blood related, but my nephews and my best friend and his family down here for Thanksgiving. He's got kids that are 5, 7, and 9, and they all love Lickies. They've been playing the beta or alpha, I guess at this point, for the last couple days, fighting over the iPad. Yeah, it's been awesome. It's been awesome. So really cool to see people get their hands on the game and you know, especially just the natural response. I have a video of my nephew, and he managed to get all of the gems in one shot, and he's just like, that was so satisfying. It was like the perfect moment. But yeah, we're down here in South Florida. I had an opportunity to walk through our venue for the location of our event a couple days ago when I got down here at the Gates Hotel. Really awesome location. We're working with a handful of other, you know, NFT communities, and we're going to be holding some Women in Web3 panels. We've got a pool that'll be accessible all day long. A fashion show one day. It's shaping up to be a really, really cool event. So, you know, definitely implore everyone, if you're able to make it down and it's not stressful for you financially or otherwise, definitely come down and hang out with us. If not, we'll definitely be sharing video and media and all that good stuff. But we've got a really solid team coming out, headed up by Light Piglet, T-Bird, and No Future. I also believe we have a couple of our, most well-known fake artists are showing up. I don't want to spill the beans too much, but I know Zbot, our main creative summoner, will be there along with some of the other prolific fake artists. And also a couple fakes are going to be getting dropped the weekend of the event by some artists outside of the community. Cake Nygaard, who some of you may or may not know, very prolific NFT artist, released Cake Apes before Mutants years ago, and does tons of really cool caked up derivatives. He's got a very cool piece that's going to drop. And then for our friends that were at ETH Denver last year, you may have met a gentleman named NFT Murder, who was he's an NFT artist. His studio burnt down 2 weeks ago, and
Oh my God.
I reached out to him and offered him an opportunity to come show some stuff down in Miami. So he's going to make the trip down, but I'm also going to publish a fake piece for him to try to raise some money. It'll be my first fake, but we're just going to release a fake for him and try to raise some money to help him get back on his feet. So I'm going to time that out as well with Art Basel. But we'll have an official invite this week that'll be going out from the greeter team. Maybe we could get Light Piglet up here as well, because I know he's been communicating with some of our fake artists in the background. There's a lot going on, so I don't want to misspeak on any of these details. But in short, there's going to be a whole lot going on starting from the 7th of December through the 10th. It'll be a split between, public events as well as stuff that'll just be for holders. We will do a live, we'll get together for the Hangout. So 2 weeks from today, we'll all get together for breakfast and coffee. We'll do the Hangout live poolside, which will be nice. So it'll be cool it's always fun to get to do those weekly Hangouts with actual Gotchi gang IRL. But yeah, I'm going to just keep rambling because I had my pre-workout this morning. So I'll stop right there.
Happy, I just want to confirm you're going to be streaming that weekend, right? Like doing the live stream of this call.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, because the goal is going to be to get a live stream up from the poolside. But if I can't get internet, I'm just going to call in probably from a phone, or I might buy some Ray-Ban Metas just to play around with them. But yeah, just want to make sure there's a stream actually live just in case we can't get one up from the pool.
Yeah, we'll connect on that. We'll make it happen for sure.
Yeah, because I'll be able to get a video feed. I just don't know if I can stream and do video feed.
Yeah. No,
I'm
we'll
also
make it
going to
happen.
be rocking these shorts. Lost Local, will you promise not to tell the people at the pool that they do not have a net? Because I'm going to rock them with no net. I'm going, straight into the pool.
You don't have any Gotchi undies to wear underneath?
Actually, I do have them. I have the Gotchi boxers in the background. I forgot about those.
Part of the plan, because they kind of show through when they get wet, so it's a little reveal. I mean, you're welcome to reveal whatever you want. It's Miami, but in case you want to leave some things to the imagination, that's my approach there. Is there any progress on that basketball game? No Future? Are you going to take Thread Guy to school, or what's going on?
What I've been doing is I've been talking with Thread Guy, and he's hard to really contact at this point. But Easy Eats Bodega is doing the Bodagos thing, and they're doing a D-Athletics event. So I'm trying to get into both. The Bodagos one I think I can get into because I have a Bodago, and I've just been kind of openly talking about it with the Polygon fam, trying to organize something, but nothing concrete. Hopefully it's going to be the Bodagos event, and then maybe we'll just post up to a basketball court and play some ball with the Polygon friends.
Yeah, and anyone who has any questions, definitely feel free to reach out to myself, Light Piglet, No Future. We'll happily answer any questions. And if there are any Gotchi gang that are native to South Florida, or if you're going to be in town earlier, I'm already down here, so I'll be Miami local as of 3 or 4 days from now. So feel free to reach out. We could always link up before things get crazy and talk Gotchi.
It's also cool with Cake Nygaard, that whole thing, because he just launched a project on Magic Eden. It's an open edition that's going live right now. I have Cake Apes. I saw them when they first came out, and then I bought some recently because they're very cheap. So he's a dope artist. They actually did a space with him like a week ago, and it'll be really cool to just be able to like, oh, I own your work, and now I'm here with you, just like I get to do with the fake Gotchi artist. It's pretty dope.
Dude, and he's, you know, it's been cool to, he's been around, you know, since pretty much as long as, you know, I've been in the space, and a lot of us have been in the space. So it's been cool to see someone who's kind of doing their own thing, and he's existed as an independent artist in this space without, you know, he's gained some success, but he's definitely not, you know, like one of these hype artists that could just drop a piece for a couple ETH every couple days. So you know, I always have so much respect for artists that grind in this world. It's such a difficult grind. So stoked to have him involved. He'll be doing some live painting, and I will be urging him, nudging him to incorporate some Gotchi elements, and perhaps we can give one of those away. And a little bit of alpha also. There is a young lady named Kalam who is she's known for doing these custom denim painted jackets and jeans, and she paints people's PFPs. I have her doing a custom Aavegotchi denim jacket for us that we'll be able to either raffle or auction off. I haven't decided what we're going to do yet, but she's doing that as a favor for giving her some space at this event. So there's going to be a very cool one-of-one denim jacket that I was very interested in.
Yeah, man, that sounds amazing. A denim jacket with your custom, like hand-painted Gotchi on it would be fire. Also, me and Thrax are working in the background because I host these Twitter spaces in the morning now with some Polygon friends. While we're at Art Basel, we're probably going to do a giveaway for a Gotchi. There are going to be some wearables being given away. You'll probably have to attend the space to be able to get the Gotchi, but it's in the morning, roughly around the time that we do these meetings. We're going to figure out the logistics and make a post about it, but keep that, you know, your eyes set for that, because we'll have more information in the coming days.
Yeah, it's a nice looking Gotchi too. He just was flexing it in the chat there.
Yeah, he came onto the space. People were like very excited because I got the host and co-host, one of them, to ape into Aavegotchi last weekend because he hears me talking about it so much, and it comes up very organically just because they want to know what quality looks like. And I'm like, over here, and then they start, you know, we're slowly pulling people into the rabbit hole. And they, you know, Thrax has been more of a presence in spaces lately, and just having his point of view coming in as someone who works for the team, but also someone who's developing, you know, DAO proposals for games, and also a fake Gotchi artist. It's just been really cool. So giving away the Gotchi got a lot of people really hyped, and it's exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. Our Art Basil's gonna be great.
Yeah,
Yo,
I'm
dudes,
excited.
I'm stoked.
sorry, I just wanted to say those spaces are so cool. Like it's such a vibe. Everyone is. It feels like everyone's like talking about their stories, and then every once in a while we just jump back and we're like, Aavegotchi does it this way, so this is how it should be done. But you know, this is what's going on, and it's just like an ego boost, but at the same time, I don't know. I want to rally the whole of Polygon behind us, man, because I feel like we're the poster child for real.
100%.
Yo, what we need to do, and Thrax, you've been in spaces with me. I don't know if they talked about it while you were there, but NFT Inspect is straight up disrespecting us. We are not represented. Right now, they're running a competition for top Polygon PFPs, and I think Drill Club is winning it. There are people with like 1,300 followers who are like in the top, you know, following peeps of, you know, Polygon and NFT Inspect. So if we can get Aavegotchi on NFT Inspect, it's not even token gated. I think it's just based on the PFP. Like if it looks like that, I think we do very well. But I think we just have to make more noise on X in order for them, or I guess Aavegotchi straight up go contact the.
Yeah, that's insane. What are they using to like measure which NFTs are on Polygon?
Well, they're using it based on X activity, I believe, because what happened is Smokey, who runs the On Polygon account, which just rebranded to Polygon Commons, was doing a lot of stuff with NFT Inspect because on Solana and Ethereum NFTs, those are listed. So he had some spaces and he brought it up to me on the space. He's like, "Yo, would Aavegotchi be down for this?" I'm like, "Yeah, just hit up the team. We would 100% be down for this. Getting the PFPs involved." And then they launched their first season, and it's like, you know, alphas, Brozo, Drill Club, like all, you know, Pluto Misfits, which are all cool projects, but you know, like we should be there. Like every time I think about it, I'm like the CEO of OKX. We got Standing. We got
Yeah.
Mark Zeller. We got all the, like, why, you know? So
Yeah, this is insane. What are they? Yeah, I mean, if anyone knows anyone from Inspect, we'll hit them up, or we can just go and badger them on X with the official account. So it's pretty insane. I saw their launch and I was like, okay, they're gonna probably put Aavegotchi on there, but yeah, it's kind of a diss. I don't get it. So if anyone knows anyone, I think on our side we are, like Lost Local, we did talk about reaching out, but we'll see and follow up on that.
Polygon it's kind of always tricky dealing with them. It's part of dealing with, I guess, like such a big machine. It seems like a lot of the parts don't talk to each other, but yeah.
Well, this is Inspect, right? So is this made by? It's not made by Polygon. This is like the
separate.
Yeah, the Inspect.
Polygon PFP is on Inspect. Yeah, we did drop them a message, and you know, we've been trying to get on their radar, but I did not get any traction there.
I just messaged Smokey because he has direct contact with them, so I'm gonna be like, yeah, let's get this going. Yeah, because we would even look at this Hangout right now. If we had everybody with their PFP on X right now, that this size audience, we'd be one of the top communities, because there's only like, I think the top community has like 100, maybe 50 to 100 people that use their PFP on X right now on NFT Inspect. So we would definitely jump to the top.
Let's get out there for sure. I'll hit him up as well with the main account. Slide in their DMs.
You know, No Future Basel will be a great time to like really hit people over the head with our presence and the fact that we've, you know, got an active community. So we'll try to ride that as much as we can.
Yeah, part of my goal is, because I've like since NFT NYC, I've been doing a lot of spaces. So I've become, like, people already knew me on Ethereum, but now I've become friends with a lot of the much bigger influencers, the Ashley Decans, the people who like actually move around and do stuff. So the goal is like, because these people know who I am, I'm Docs, they've seen my videos and we've had conversations. I'm going to try to link up and get interviews with them or get content with them, just talking about what we're doing over here. And just in general, you know, because I try to spread myself out into like different chains and different things. So I'm going to be rocking the Gotchi shorts, my Gotchi hat. I'm going to be a walking billboard and hopefully making a lot of noise and getting a lot of attention, but in the most positive way.
We're finally at a place, you know, where we're also starting to make first contact with some of these more like mainstream gaming influencers now that we have product. So I do think, and you know, the Pixelcraft team's also got some plans for some influencer marketing. So I think, you know, we are kind of right at this cusp where things are going to change, but definitely time to get as loud as possible, because the products are all rolling out, and it's unacceptable for people to not know who we are at this point.
Yeah, it becomes easier, I think, because if you like current week's drama, which I'm not going to go into on Polygon, everybody, and Thrax kind of mentioned this, everybody's talking about the current week's drama, and then it comes back to us because you know, the realization is no one really has built anything in the ecosystem. Everybody's saying they're the best project, but they have maybe gamified staking or like, you know, some cool Twitter spaces they host, a little bit of that, but they haven't actually built anything. So every time we have these like moments where everybody's like, you know, I don't want to say come to Jesus, but it feels like that. Like everybody's coming together because something rugged on the side, or another project didn't deliver what they said, or a mint went off, you know, inappropriately. It always comes back to us and how we're doing it right, and there needs to be more attention on this stuff.
Yeah,
Polygon is getting a lot of usage, like from corporations and stuff, but it needs a little bit, like the community needs to rally a little bit more around
the
culture.
grassroots vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
Sorry,
getting
Thrax,
there.
you were gonna say something?
Yeah, I was just saying it's hard not to flex, man. When people like we will be on those spaces, and you don't want to sound like you're bragging. They'll be talking about a mint that went wrong, and we're like, guys, just use GBM, or that something else went. Like people are like, oh, there's no utility, it's just a PFP. I'm like, oh, you could do this, 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 and we list off like 10,000 things, and they're like, who does that? We're like, Aavegotchi. Like the people that the OGs, no, just we're not. For some reason, it's like they've slotted us in the top spot and forgotten. They're like, okay, they're the top, but we'll talk about the rest now.
It does
So
work out.
weird.
Kind of, that's like on par. That's kind of par for the course though, because like as a NFT collector or holder, like if you really believe in a project, you kind of just like you hold it and you wait for something big to happen. And I think the part of our issue is that like we do a lot of work, but it's not the flashy kind of thing that gets day-to-day attention. It's long infrastructure, and we're building like a real foundation. So I think we're in the wallets of a lot of so many partner projects and infrastructure partners that I talk to either have Aavegotchis that are sitting in their wallet. They minted early on and they still have them. They'll say like, oh, I got to pet that guy, so it's like it's very common to hear that, but it's also common to like, if you think we're going to do something, to just like go about your business and wait for the number to.
Yeah, I was talking to Goobs about this
Gonna
sort
be
of in a
big.
tweet thread. I would love to get a way to get more market information so that about our volume, because on Polygon, no one, I mean, like in the Polygon DJ, the regular PFP community, no one really knows about our volume. They talk about all the other projects, and I'm like, wait a minute, we had someone sold a 90,000 ghost Gotchi like a month ago, but none of you heard about that. So if we can get regular volume metrics for the bazaar, so that I can post about that, or we can all post about it like a weekly report. I've been playing with AI a little. I know I finally got into it. It's been too long,
Nice.
but I've been playing around with just expanding content, but by using it to help write scripts and even help me with ideas for lyrics and stuff like that. But if we can get market volume information into a weekly post that we throw out, like Goobs has been doing with these great threads. Hey, friends, did you know the bazaar had this much volume? And let's look at that compared to all the other marketplaces, and why like this is a silent like beast that no one's paying attention to. It only can stay silent as long as we keep it there. If we broadcast it a bit more, I think more people will be drawn to it.
Yeah,
Yo,
we're actually going to be pushing a lot of good updates to the bazaar. I mean, the site's actually been improving quite steadily over the last couple of weeks, and the next big update is going to be including like working on the bazaar a little bit, making it really a nice UX for people, and then like you said, we want to add the volume in as well, because the marketplace, the auction house, and the games and staking are like the main parts of the site right now that we really want to focus on and like really make those awesome for people to use. And yeah, stats are a big part of that. I think we'll be able to work that in pretty easily.
I think it's key though that we do that comparison thing, like you were saying, because realistically, the volume that goes through the bazaar is insane compared to everything else in Polygon. Like I was looking at stats when we were on the space. All I could find was a Dune Analytics page that showed daily volume, and it's like easily in the thousands of ghosts every day, like on a slow day. You know what I mean? And then there are those days where people are like, "Oh, I decided to jump in and buy a 90,000 ghost Gotchi," and if we advertise that, like the floor price, one of our problems. I say problems, but that's like good problems. Is our floor price is high? For a Polygon NFT, people are like, "Oh, I can't spend 200, whatever." They think it's too high of a floor price, and then people don't even realize that because the floor price is so high, they don't realize that our grails go for insane money because they never see that.
Volume like enough to make, would it compete with OpenSea like top 20 on a daily basis, or not really?
On Polygon, hell yeah. I think we like Polygon. I was looking at it the other day. They did like a few ETH worth of volume in a day.
Yeah, I watch
like a OpenSea volume and just inserting our volume into it, as like to show people. like, hey, like, and just highlight it.
And that's not even like
reoccurring post.
including the auction house. The GBM also does quite a bit. Like if you put the GBM and the bazaar together, like it's quite significant.
So we'll do a pie chart, man. We'll do like all of Polygon's ecosystem sales basically, and we'll show GBM as one chunk and Bazaar as one chunk, and then the rest of it as another chunk. We should be easily more than a third, right?
Yeah, give me a graphic that shows weekly, our breakdown for both of these marketplaces, the GBM auction and the Bazaar, and then we can show comparatively what other marketplaces look like. And even if we want to break it down to daily, but if we do that weekly, that's powerful.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Do it. Golden Cross, hey sir. I think we're into DAO call stuff now, guys. But yeah, it's been. The last thing I wanted to mention was we dropped a tweet about the little the new wearable, the new schematic, and yeah, I do want to say that next week there will be an announcement about the upcoming schematics drop, powered by. It's kind of been inspired by the Forge and Pixelcraft working together on this new drop. So let me find the tweet here.
Ooh. I also see him mentioning SFA at YGG Summit.
Yeah, I dropped a picture in a second ago. You guys remember that we partnered with Hyperplay, and they're kind of like a game aggregator here in Web3. And one of the cool parts of that partnership was that they are basically representing at YGG Summit in Philippines this week. And one of our games, since we're like the #1 game on their platform at the moment, they brought us to the summit. So through Hyperplay, we got to basically attend the YGG Summit at their booth, and tons of people have been playing the game.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, and we also, as Golden Cross said, we are also launching on this platform called Carve next week. We're going to have some announcements about that as well. And they also have quite a player base, so it's going to be cool to see Spirit Force Arena and all the other games eventually that we have launching on these kind of Web3 native gaming platforms.
Guys, I'm having a problem here. I don't have time to play. Last week, I cut the trailer, the sizzle reel. You guys asked me to cut a sizzle reel, and I'm like, how many games do we have? Like, there are 9 in there.
Yeah.
Like, what is happening?
I think once we get to about 10 games, obviously next year there's probably going to be a few more on the Pixelcraft side. I think we're basically good with we got Gotchi Guardians, we got Gotchiverse 3D coming, we got Spirit Force Arena. I think we're pretty good on our side. Jesse and I were talking about the other day. But in terms of like DAO funded games and community games, I mean, we can go forever. That's kind of the whole point of this, is to just have the games and have an ecosystem to support kind of the play and earn aspect of it. And if you get both of those together, I think it's a very powerful combination. And there's something for everyone, right? Not everyone likes first-person shooters. Not everyone likes puzzle games or tower defense or roguelites, but there's something for everyone.
Yeah, my problem is I like most games. I'm not an idle battler, but like I didn't like tower defense games, man. But then like Gotchi Guardians is not I wouldn't call it. It's not the same. Like it's way more fast paced. It's not like you're sitting there, sending guys up mid or whatever, or like feeding your character or whatever you are in a sense, but it's way faster. And it's absolute chaos. Well, you guys will see soon. I don't know.
It really is. Oh, man. Yeah, the playtest is going to be wild. I'm excited.
When you've got like all of the cannons going, it's like total chaos, and it feels like
The
so much.
raffles
It's like
flying
fun to
around.
spectate. Yeah, it's like the spectating it is just fun. It's just fun to watch things kind of play
Yeah.
out, which is cool.
It's cool to see. There's. I've been playing quite a few rounds, and I still haven't like found the best strategy yet. Slama keeps adding these like new items in that really have the potential to like shake the meta up a lot. So it's gonna be. It's not even like done yet. There's still a couple towers that aren't built yet. There's a couple liquidators that aren't done. There's so much more left, but at the same time, it's like it's already quite feeling like a complete game.
When Aavegotchi spectators on Twitch.
You guys are gonna. I mean, you're gonna have plenty of Twitch content. I'm
Yeah.
honestly, I'm thinking maybe I should just start like setting up a Twitch stream and just playing some of these games.
Yeah, same.
Because
And
yeah,
Do it.
yeah.
we had one join the ranks this week. I just want to give a shout out to Gotchi Bulls if you guys have seen his content.
Yeah.
He's been killing it, man. I mean, he helped me through the sandbox thing because I was getting stuck in the dungeon. And yeah, big shout out to him, and definitely give Gotchi Bulls a follow too because he's been live streaming like crazy. So I'm sure we're gonna see a lot of these live streamer activations, including us on stage here. Like you said, Coder Dan, I'm gonna get up in the live stream game here, and my Twitch hasn't had a whole lot of action on it, so maybe this is the time right now. So
This is honestly, this is the time. I mean, like, this is when, yeah, if you start streaming now, by once these games are live and we're really promoting them heavily by next year, ETH Denver comes around and we're gonna blow the F out of ETH Denver. So I think it'll be a good time to be a Gotchi streamer.
You guys are slowly taking over Orium game night. Like I had, like we've tried to play multiple games so that we could let multiple people win, and we had demands to play Dropped, the newly named Dropped, which some people, to their dismay, it's like, oh, this game's gonna take like 30 minutes. It's like, all right, we'll quit at level 20, but we want to keep playing, you know. So the games, like with Spirit Force Arena, people were like, they love that. The Gotchi Battler's a little different, but still could be very cool. And then these other loops are going to be a lot of fun. So it's my game night's getting longer and more Gotchi and centric.
it's
You're
gonna be
just gonna
known as
have to make it
Aavegotchi
into
game
a-
night.
Yeah, it's gonna become like just a Gotchi game stream for like 4 hours. How long is your game night?
It usually I aim for like an hour to an hour and a half because I tend to go, like, my girlfriend works and gets off like when I'm finished, usually when I'm done streaming, but I'll let it go longer some days. And then there's another game that I do with another community, High Seas Pirates. They do theirs tonight, so they'll play a whole bunch of different games, and I'm slowly onboarding them to Aavegotchi. But we're also the Tuesday and Thursday morning Twitter spaces that I co-host. I'm the host those days, so I make them gaming centric. So I always tell Gotchi Gang, come in if you want to talk, if you're developing something, and we'll also play games and, you know, just mess around. So it's usually like an hour and a half, 2 hours, but a couple different days now.
You know, what's the viewership like on the game nights?
So it depends on the game night. Like Orium game night can get 20, 25 people. It depends on also which communities I like kind of pitch to. So if it's like, if we have like this week, we have friends on Polygon. It's a community called Danketsu. They saw us playing Smash Cards in one of the Polygon Hangouts, which can get like 40 or 50 people when we're hosting those in the morning. With Danketsu, I'd probably get a lot of their community members. And then I'm also talking with the Alpha community members, David X, 10X, to try to host like a more wider community game night with alphas, with, you know, just different communities, and we'll all play Smash Cards or something else. It's something that we could play competitively and, you know, for a small prize or some fun. Bragging rights mostly, but, you know, good stuff.
So I'm looking for ways to source good footage and at the same time give us times to play. So if you could think of like maybe once a month, or actually no, that's not a good idea because we have too many games. So once a week I could do something, but like I want to do like a prize once a month, like not something huge, but just to draw more players, and then on those days I would record the matches so I have chaos.
Yeah, see, the game night is good, but honestly, I get a bigger, because the game night is hosted by Orium, which is a relatively small account, versus the Polygon Hangout, where like our show on Thursday had 60, not Thursday, on Friday had like 50 or 60 people in it. On the days that I host the game kind of thing, it'd be very easy to be like, yo, Polygon friends, if you want a chance to win whatever, we give away. They were getting excited about like $5, Matic Polygon NFTs, like garbage NFTs. So anything of value, I think they would get very excited for. It'd be very easy.
Sweet. Okay, we're gonna talk offline then.
Yeah, it's a really light lift.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, why don't we switch to the dower here?
Yeah.
Switch gears a little bit. Before we do that, I want to just give a shout out to GFA's Akiwa, who has 5 auctions live right now, and y'all might recognize this if you played the sandbox experience, going through some of the dungeons there. This was like the hieroglyphs on the wall, and they have 5 pieces representing those hieroglyphs here, and they're up for auction right now. And there's a little bit of alpha here. If you win the 5 auctions, you also win a Gotchi, so that's a pretty big deal. I'll just kind of push it here. Definitely check that out. Get your bids in, friends. All right. Well, let's kick off with a snapshot proposal review here. We got a couple snapshot proposals in the queue. Let me share my screen. All right. Okay, so we have a couple of proposals that passed just recently, and friends, we're at the almost at the end of the year here, and we're gonna hit our 100th agip, which is insane, which is awesome. No Future, you mind muting there for a sec?
I am mute. I'm not on mute.
I just keep hearing your little mouse clicks. Agip 99, we're gonna hit our 100th agip right before the end of the year, which I think is insane. I don't know what we started with. I think we started at like 45 at the start of this year, so that's like what, 60 agips over a year? It's insane. Yeah, we're gonna hit our 100th agip at the end of the year here. And so what do we got here? Mechagotchis. Mechagotchis V1 Sig Prop by Thrax. And this one got quorum, 9.2 million ghost worth of votes, and 87% in favor of Mechagotchis. So this is put forward by Thrax, something he's been ideating on for a little while. And it's a community. There's definitely a community component here. So check out the forum post, because yeah, there's definitely some input to be had in terms of like game mechanics. And the premise of this game is going to be it's going to be like intense PvP battles, and this is game mode 1, which will be focused on multiplayer and damage system development. And then eventually, based on community feedback, we'll get some Gotchi traits and mech customization. So looking forward to that. And there you go. Thrax just dropped it there. Join the Mechagotchi Discord if you want to be involved in this process. I think this is going to be pretty sweet. So
yeah, guys, I'm involving you in more ways than just like play the game and buy the things. Like, I need input on what you want to see. For example, I have 2 options for the loading screens right now. I want to know the branding of like Mechagotchis. Which direction do we want to go? Are we going like flick? Are we going like beat up metal? All that stuff is, up for debate, basically.
okay, yeah, and I've seen some really good ideas in that forum post as well. While you're up here, Thrax, is there anything else you want to mention on this proposal? Was there any feedback from the SIG prop, or is this going to go straight to core prop as is?
I think it's pretty much going to core prop as is. I would like to address a couple of points that people made when I brought it up. They're saying, for example, we don't need another PvP game or something similar. I'm starting it off as a PvP game, but that's just so I can build the systems that I need to make the fully fledged game, and to show the community that I've got, you know, the devs and the chops to make this happen with the budget that I've been given. Like a small amount of trust so that I can ask for a larger amount of trust down the road, basically. The long story aspect, the vision is essentially that it would be a team game. Mechs are not supposed to be run by one Gotchi because it's a big ask, basically. You're going to have mechanic teams that are inside the mech running around fixing the parts that get destroyed. So like if a leg gets wrecked, you're going to start limping and not moving as quickly and you can't dodge until your mechanic team fixes the leg, basically. And then there's the pilot who does obviously the fighting and the driving. Might split fighting and driving into two things. I have not decided yet. That's also up for debate. So join the server. Let's talk.
Hell yeah. Yeah, thanks for the little update there. And sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, just one. I forgot to mention the modes, the game modes. So there's supposed to be two more game modes, essentially. One, which is the 5v1 against an AI, which is essentially like 5 people pay to get in and 2 people leave with more than they went in. It's like gonna be, that's like the cut and dry of it, but it's gonna be much more gamified than that. So like, for example, you're attacking the enemy altogether, and then as one person gets to 0 health, their reactor core detonates, and that takes a chunk of the enemy's health. So the only way to kill it, basically fully, would be for 3 of you to die, because it's OP. But in the end, the loot makes it worth it for 2 people. And then the third mode is scavenger mode, which is you go out into a procedurally generated world, which has like fog of war over it, and look for resources. And it's very hard to survive, but you can pick up stuff to like upgrade your armor and weapons and things.
Yeah, very interesting. Looking forward to this development, honestly, and I totally agree with your whole concept of like, let's start small, you know, let's create like the basic mechanics and gameplay, and then let's build off of there. So looking forward to you know, might chime in myself in that Discord server on some things. I had some interesting ideas the other day, so please do that, friends. Go check that out.
Awesome, thanks, Ed.
All right, next we got another pretty cool experience here built by Legan. This is another one I've been looking forward to as well. Aavegotchi V1 funding proposal. Kind of going off the same idea of building out the basic mechanics and having for a V1 version of this game and then building off of it. There's a whole light paper there for you to dig into, but the short background of this is the original version of Aavegotchi was proposed as a strategy game that featured lengthy multiplayer games. Following community feedback, significant refinements were made to the game concept, mechanics, and graphics. Lagan was up here on stage last week to kind of discuss his whole idea behind this proposal, and it looks like it has passed 90% of the DAOs in favor of this, and it's passed quorum by 1 million votes, so 10 million ghost worth of votes there. And so we'll see core prop for that one. And Lagan, if there was any, there's a YouTube clip there as well. Yeah, definitely check that out. Was there any sort of feedback, or is this going to go to core prop kind of as is, without any changes? And you're welcome to come up as well if you want to just take a couple minutes. Okay, seems like it's going to core as is. Okay, that's good to know. Excellent. So we'll look forward to that. And so that'll be probably Agip 101 right before the end of the year, hopefully. That's awesome. And now we have some new proposals that will be ending in about a week. So Treasury Management, convert Aavegotchi Treasuries DAI to SDAI and SFRAX. Friends, I'll admit this, I read through this one and it's a little bit beyond my scope of understanding with what this proposal's asking for. but I'll just go through it here. And OX Slide. I don't have your contact, but if the proposal author would like to speak on this, you're definitely welcome to. This proposal suggests converting the DAI held on Ethereum into SDAI and SFRAX to bring some income in for Aavegotchi DAO. So mentioning the Aavegotchi DAO holds 6.5 million DAI, and to basically split it half and half into SDAI and SFRAX. And he's calculated a yield of 300K. Now, we haven't really had a whole lot of discussion about generating income for the DAO. I believe there is a thread around that currently going on. But let's at least read some comments here. Friends, if you have an understanding of what this proposal is, I'd love to hear your opinion on that. Let's see. That's a great idea, or simpler, we can deposit the DAI in Aave and earn interest. Yeah, so that was also another option that was discussed in the forums there. I believe there's a thread on that. Zbot saying keep DAI as is, too risky to do otherwise. That was also my thought as well when I was looking at this proposal with just my basic understanding of this. But if there's a good reason to do this, I'd love to know. There was plenty of discussion leading up to GG. Oh no, that's something else. Yeah, crypto-Gotchi. This is kind of where is anybody able to even chime in on what SDAI and SFRAX is? Yeah, I feel like we, for this proposal specifically, we probably need more context. If there's a specific forum thread for this proposal, that'd be a good place to start. Otherwise, currently it's not looking too great. It's 551,000 ghosts out of 9 million, which it kind of reflects the level of understanding maybe. Yeah, McCallum, they're just offering active treasury management, which, yeah, that's a whole nother conversation to have, in my opinion. Yeah, Thrax, what does the S represent? Frax. There's a is there even a thread on this prop? If no, it should be deleted. I kind of agree with that, Coder Dan. If there seems to be just a general lack of clarity around what this proposal is, and specifically what SFRAX and SDAI even is, and it seems like there could even be some other alternatives to discuss. So. Yeah, I don't think it. Delete. Okay, cool. But to the proposal author, if you're listening to this, we'll probably remove this. Okay, hang on. There's some more comments. It's moving. The buyback. Yeah, Zbot. I like what Zbot's saying too. The buyback of Ghost will make the DAO the richest of the richest DAO in the universe. Well, it's believing in our own token and what we're doing here. And for anybody listening to the last hour, there's a lot going on here. It's definitely worth looking into Ghost if you don't have any. Okay, I guess this would likely fail. Yeah. Yeah, for the record, I think when we're posting in the forum, I'm not sure how much action the old forum gets these days, but probably a good idea to post it in the Discord forum where things seem to be a little bit more active. You can actually get more feedback and relay. But yeah, I'm going to move on. And we have Freckle and Aavegotchi DAO investment proposal. So this was put forward by friend Lord Trivia, who we have had some events with in the past. And this is to unveil a collaborative opportunity, not only investing in Freckle Trivia's venture, but also to have a mobile web app game that uses Freckle TV's engaging format and our Aavegotchi brand. And I think the working name here is Gotchi Guess. So this proposal just went live. It looks like it has been reposted as weighted voting, which is awesome. And so yeah, there was a little bit of a tweak that had to be made there, but it is posted correctly now, and we have well, it's still very early to really say uh, where this is going to go, but I just want to say 368,000 Ghost has been already committed towards Quorum. I would like to give Lord Trivia a chance to speak on this if you would like to. Yeah. There you
Hey,
go.
what's up, Patrick?
Hey,
Hey,
friend.
good morning, everyone.
GM.
Hey, everyone on stage and everyone in the audience. GM. I appreciate the time as always. I'm really, really excited now. You know, I've been here the last couple weeks or throughout the last few months to talk about this investment opportunity and Gotchi guests, and now we finally have the proposal up. Sorry, I'm clearly a total noob when it comes to Snapshot. I posted it last night, and then I had to repost it this morning with the weighted voting. So if you did vote last night, please come back, vote again today. I fixed that. But yeah, this is really an interesting opportunity for the DAO. I don't think you guys have been proposed anything quite like it before, which is why I'm really open to answering all these questions during the voting period, like in the discussion, or you can DM me if you have any questions. I really want to be an open book, as if you are a bunch of venture capitalists grilling a founder on an investment opportunity, because that's really what this is. So it is a two-pronged ask, essentially. And what it allows for is for the Aavegotchi DAO to close out Freckles' current pre-seed round, and the details and the valuation and the investment amount are all in the proposal. So you guys will be closing out our round, investing in an equity round of our company, taking ownership over a percentage of Freckle TV, which is the Fixed Media Group Incorporated. And the goal for us, the usage of that capital that you would be investing in, would be to further roadmap items that include building a game that we had planned to build. But now that we are going to be partnering with the Gotchi DAO, it makes so much sense to us to pivot the creative and the visuals and the distinction and the aesthetics for this game into the Aavegotchi universe using Gotchi lore and Gotchi branding. And I think that's the most exciting part about this. There are details in the game in the proposal. I'll give you a quick little overview. It's a very, very simple casual game. I wouldn't call it a puzzler like Lickies. Lickies is definitely a different type of puzzler, but it is a guessing game where you'll be guessing zoomed in clips of objects, sound clips, all trying to decipher messages left for you by this great Gotchi explorer who has been stranded on this mysterious realm of Earth, and only us can help him get home. So we've been workshopping, Soju, Jason, and I, on this storyline. We like where it's at right now. We've also been playing around with the gameplay dynamics. We want to include progression. We want to include levels. We want to include power-ups. So there's a lot of awesome opportunity here to play and earn, spend your earnings to get things within the ecosystem. So I'm pretty excited on all of that. And then, yeah, you know, we have an awesome team ready to put this together. Our dev who built Freckle TV, Jaewoo Ryu, is our lead dev. I'll be producing the game. We have Jason from the Pixelcraft team as a creative director, sort of lending his insight into the storyline and the gameplay and the lore. And then, of course, we have the Soju as our art director and our designer. So this entire game, if you can imagine, is going to really look like it was pulled out of Soju's incredible brain, and that's how we're going to present it and how we're going to style it. We imagine we can get a beta for the game out in about 3.5 months. And then we want to do a full launch, you know, in about 5 to 6 months. And yeah, you know, look, guys, we've all partnered before. We love Aavegotchi. I'm going to be in Miami, you know, with Jason, helping him out at the event, representing Aavegotchi, squeezing into those swim trucks that do not fit me anymore. But regardless, this is a way for us to link arms and continue to be a family in the long run. And we're honored for you guys to even allow us to post this proposal. So thank you.
Yeah, some incredible yeah, I think it's an incredible venture. I think let's see here. Let's see if there's any questions. Friends, if you have questions, put them in the chat here. Token engineering. Any promos or visuals from the game from Coder Dan? Or is it still a little early for that?
Sorry, I was muted. I'm sorry. I have some sketches of what gameplay looks like. I'm putting together a little document that I'm going to put in the forum, and hopefully we can chat more about it next week as well. But Soju and I have been sprinting on some visuals. But as everybody knows, Soju is a hand-drawn artist. He is not working on filling cells or copy pasting. He is hand drawing everything, including all the assets for this game, which is only going to lend to its uniqueness. But that also lends to its timing line.
Yeah, Soju is the Chad. Just speaking to the investment side of it, can you maybe just give us a little high-level rundown of the investment side of this proposal, just for friends that maybe are not either familiar with how seed funding works or, like just the general idea of investing. Our DAO hasn't done a whole lot of investing in things. This would be the first, I think, venture where the DAO would be, investing some amount of money in equity specifically.
Right, and I figured as much, which is interesting because as we fundraised, in the past, obviously, to get the rest of this round done, and we have gone out to DAOs who are specifically investing in projects, not like ours, but projects in the space. So yeah, the way this works is, we are a C Corp startup in Delaware as the Fixed Media Group. We were founded as an interactive video and entertainment technology company. And then as we moved into Web3, the products we developed as the Fixed Media Group were, Web3 products, Freckle Trivia, Gotchi Guess, everything else we did in Web3, all under the Fixed Media Group banner. So that's technically the entity that you are investing in. Our pre-seed round had a valuation of $500,000 with a $5 million valuation cap. So we were investing at $500K, of which pretty much 70% of that, 80% of that is closed with a $5 million valuation cap. So that means that you guys would be investing $100,000 of that $500,000 at a valuation cap of $5 million. But because we love the DAO and we want to work with you guys, we are discounting that to 30%. So you're effectively getting an additional amount of equity in our round versus the other investors in our round. We have some pretty awesome people on the cap table. We have some amazing venture capitalists who have invested as angels from Tel Aviv. We have amazing venture capitalists who invested as angels from Silicon Valley. We have incredible project founders that have invested in us, like the Doge Pound and others. So we really have taken our capital strategically and from diverse sources, and that only lends to our ability to pull from those sources when we need things other than capital. So it's helped us be plugged in to other communities and other resources just by the nature of what our cap table looks like. And the addition to the Aavegotchi DAO to our cap table would just be bonkers insane. What does this really look like for like the Gotchi DAO? Well, it means that when we exit and we sell, the Gotchi DAO gets their percentage of their capital back. That's really what that means. It also means that there are potential to build dual income and revenue streams that trickle into the DAO from certain co-branded Aavegotchi experiences like Gotchi Get. All of that is 100% on the table and flexible. The nature of the relationship can evolve, of course, but it starts here.
Yeah, well said. I see a question related to this, and then I also see a question from Coder Dan for the gaming side. So from McCallum, he's asking, how many responsible parties for the new C Corp? Can you share who they are? How many investors thus far on the cap table? Those are his two questions. And then I got one from Coder Dan as well. Would love that.
I'm looking at my Celium's question. How many parties are responsible for the new C Corp? Am I muted?
Nope, we can hear you. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Okay, so going to the question. Responsible parties, as in like how many people are the founders? I am currently a sole founder, but there are previous founders with some outstanding equity, but it's not a lot. I own technically over 90% of the company, so the cap table is very clean. Investors on the cap table thus far, 7, investing in amounts from 5,000 to 100,000. Let's see.
And I have one from Coder Dan here. Would love to have a feeling of the game before funding it. Is there any tech demo? or will there
Oh
be
no,
any tech
Dan,
demo?
we're genuinely so far from that. I have gameplay logic and walkthrough that I can share with y'all that we're trying to implement into some wireframes right now with Soju. But no, we don't have any real tech demo or anything like that. Which obviously I understand that that's something that you would probably want to see before investing in a game. But you could look at the previous experience that we built out and how we run it and operated, and I think you could expect a pretty rock solid development process and gameplay experience. And that's based on precedent. I totally understand wanting to see an example of what this looks like. So Dan, I'm going to do my best in the next 7 days before this prop has to pass to get some stuff out there for everyone to chew on.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you for sharing all these details. I'm personally stoked. I definitely played some Freckle Trivia in the past, and I like what I'm hearing with this new iteration. Of course, demos could always make things spicier for sure. And yeah, just if let's just see if there's any other questions. If friends do have any other questions past this call, you guys have a forum post going on right now in the Discord?
Yeah, it's posted in the prop too. It's there.
Oh, sick. Okay, awesome.
Right. Yeah, that was another thing I forgot the first time I posted, so it was cool having to fix it and I got to add it back in. So that's probably where we'll add any screenshots and totally answer questions and everything.
Yeah, sick. Okay, awesome. Yeah, thanks for sharing that. Friends, definitely go vote. I always say this, just get your votes in now. It's better you do that now than forget. I've done it a few times. But yeah, just go get your votes in. And yeah, looking forward to, I guess this would be Agab 103 or Agab 102. Definitely over 100, which is, again, it's amazing for one of the more active DAOs on this planet. So let's see. Yeah, I think that's all we got for questions there, and we have wrapped up a little bit of a lengthier snapshot review, but there was a lot to cover there. And let me just unshare my screen. So with that being said, friends, there are a few things we can discuss here. Real quick, I wanted to drop the ITF volunteer form, and this was put together by the ITF and like Piglet specifically. If you would like to be a part of future events, Lord Trivia, you mind just muting yourself there, sir?
Oh, I'm so sorry.
No
Embarrassing.
worries, man. It's all good. Gotchi Gang location info. If you'd like to be at some of these events, they got a whole roster of events. It's not on this form, but yeah, is there any way we could drop Light Piglet? Do you have like the short list of prospective events past Art Basel for this year and next? But if you are interested in attending Aavegotchi events in general, definitely fill out this Gotchi Gang location info because they'll be trying to source local. Lost Local will be trying to source locally and trying to get people involved in these IRL activations. Just see some people typing there. But yeah, I'll yeah, the Gotchi Greedors officially. Local Lost Local. Yeah, of course, nothing for the rest of this year because we're almost wrapped up here with Art Basel at the end of the year. But next up we got ETH Denver, GDC, NFT NYC, NFT Paris. So we got some international events as well, and ETHCC right after that. So we got some like international events as well. If you're overseas and in France, definitely go check that out. Definitely get your name on this form. Also NFT Paris, yes. For our farmy friends. And with that being said, friends, we have a few things that we could, we should probably discuss as a DAO. And I think No Futuristic, you brought this up. I don't know if there's actual forum post for this, so it might be a little early to have this conversation, but it's been brought up a few times about quorum sensing in our DAO. We've had a few proposals pass here recently, and it seems like the quorum sensing is not an issue right now, but curious to know if anybody feels otherwise, like on the quorum where it's at with the DAO, if it needs to actually be adjusted. After all the Gotchi Vault things happened, is there a reason to adjust quorum, or do we feel like it's pretty much all good as is, like with the way the current props are being handled? Yeah. Yeah, Coder Dancing. In my opinion, quorum is pretty okay right now, even without Gotchi Vault voting. Yeah, I kind of feel the same way, honestly. But it could be something worth having up as a forum thread if people feel otherwise. And yeah, we could go from, yeah. Quorum isn't something guaranteed. Yeah, absolutely. Gotchi Vault wallet weight. You know, my Calm, those might as well just be large voters, right, at this point, which is like you can expect to have that in a DAO where there's token voting. But again, if you have opposing opinions, please express them, and maybe we'll start a thread for that. Let's see. Thraxing, I think Strategachi would have passed Sans Vault. And then my count saying it definitely wouldn't have made it without these Vault, based on these numbers. Yeah, I mean, if you look back at this post here, if you look back at this SIG prop, Strategachi passed with 10 million. So it was 1 million over quorum. And then we had roughly 1.9. So okay. 1.5. Okay. But I mean, at the moment, like Coder Dan was saying, I don't think it has been an issue. Yeah, exactly, my count. Quorum is looking healthy. But it's something we can definitely just keep in mind. And if it does become an issue, then maybe we can discuss it at that time. And let's see. Well, yeah, rarity farming passes with flying colors every time. So, yep, 100%. Yeah, we can't expect everything to pass either. You know, there's going to be that occasional one that doesn't sometimes, and maybe that's a good thing.
Hefe, were there any updates or people that contacted you about the ATF stuff that we spoke about last week?
What ATF stuff?
You had mentioned the Discord and people receiving funding for, you know, like a certain grants up to a certain size that the ATF can dole out. I just wonder if anybody actually followed up with that.
No, I mean that's been there for that's been that way. Like if you have a game experience and you want to host like an event, I believe they have 500 Ghost available to fund your event, basically for prizes. That's basically what that was. Yeah, I don't think there's anything. I don't know if there was anything to follow up, but
cool. Thanks.
Let's see. Vault's not voting anymore. Well, I think they just voted on this last proposal. Choin is saying, I believe Bearded said the Gotchi Vault won't be voting on any more props. See, I'm not too clear on the Gotchi Vault stuff, honestly. If someone from the Gotchi Vault does want to speak on that, on their process, I believe you just have to ping them for casting their vote at each stage, sig prop and core prop. But if it's not that way, then yeah, please speak on that. Right? What's the process?
Bearded had said in like one of the forums that he was no longer going to vote after one more vote. I forget which vote that was, but he was like he doesn't want to vote anymore.
Yeah, it seems like conflicting things. Because it looks like they are voting, right? Like they did vote on these last ones. Let's see. Typically, just reading the comments here. Does the vault have to vote to reach quorum from Lord Trivia? It's been, there's been a few props that haven't passed because the vault didn't vote, or there was some like miscommunication in the voting. But from what I've seen, I think the vault votes on almost every proposal, and the process hasn't been very clear, I guess. Yeah, there isn't a clear quit vote action in place. And yeah, so let's see. Okay. Yeah, not really too clear on that. Again, maybe that's a forum discussion, and we can follow up on that next week. Let's see. There's definitely some other good conversations to have a look at and chime in on in the DAO forum, just here near the end before we wrap up. And we have revenue sharing for the DAO, like Gotchi Farmy mentioned earlier. This is pretty early to be discussing this, but I think it's worth having this discussion because when we do have revenue coming in through games and games that are currently kind of free to play, adopting some sort of tokenized model or revenue model, then maybe we'll have a pretty good idea of how the DAO wants to approach this. But there was a forum post created by Oliver Spoon, revenue sharing for DAO funded initiatives. In my opinion, personally, a lot of the games that are coming out right now are out there with the goal, like from my perspective, not speaking for the DAO, but to kind of strengthen the Aavegotchi IP and to like get the, build our community player base, allowing people to cross over from one game to the other, and having as many like possibilities for Aavegotchi to get discovered through different game styles, right? Like some people might really like playing tower defense or tower defense survival type games, and so maybe Gotchi Guardians would catch their attention. Maybe the arena battler types, and that's what gets their attention. But to build that player base, and then once there's some like real monetization strategies in place that are working for the games, then I think hopefully by that time the DAO would have a really good idea of how we want to approach like revenue sharing. But that being said, Gotchi Farmy are Chads and have committed, I believe, 55% of their revenue from the sandbox to the DAO, which is awesome. Gotchi Heroes heating up. Let's see. From Slow Sunday Games. Yeah, that's another one that that needs more love for sure. Definitely go check that one out. Yeah, Soju. Yeah, I totally agree, man. Art, games, and wide-reaching lore all strengthen Aavegotchi as a whole, and so that's one forum post y'all should check out. And if you have any good ideas on how the DAO should approach revenue sharing for projects we fund going into the future, especially when we're looking at these larger requests, chime in there. So that's one there. And then another one here that we worked really, really hard on for quite some time, Aavegotchi DAO vision and mission statement. We have finished the mission statement officially. It's been voted on, and now moving towards a vision statement for the DAO. So it might be a good idea to chime in there. What do you envision Aavegotchi DAO being like 2 years from now? Or what do you envision us being like maybe 4 or 5 years from now? Could be some good questions to ask there. And I know there was some suggestion that maybe there should be a committee around this. There's some things in the works that we'll definitely present in the next couple weeks here on how we could go about funding these committees to take up these initiatives. But in the meantime, maybe let's just keep the conversation going in the vision for the vision statement. And yeah, if there's anything else here, Gotchies, of course, check that out. But there's the Discord. Join Thrax's Discord there and chime in on Gotchies. Yeah. Well, there's one more here. Smithing skill competition. This is in regards to the Forge. So if you are a smither, definitely go check that out. I'm not much of a smither, but they are holding a smithing competition. Just going to read the comments here. Revenue. If we're going to go through if we're going to go through rev share discussions for DAO funded projects, we're very much in the same category as a Freckle trivia request. Yeah, I mean, actually, that's a good point. The Freckle trivia is a first kind of like a VC funding request that the DAO would be able to get involved in. Oh, no, it's still totally not off topic, Choina. This is something we should definitely put out there. Let's support our friend T-Bird. I'm not going to go into the personal details, but if you guys have followed T-Bird on Twitter, let's help a brother out. And I believe he has a GoFundMe going on as well. And yeah, let's just ideate. Let's help another brother out in Gotchi Gang. And so that's all I'm going to say on that. Grab a Gotchi love on fake yeah, Stratagotchi, or sorry, Lagan. Grab a Gotchi love on fake Gotchis. Yeah, FaZe, I don't know, man. They're pretty big chads over there. But that's all I got, friends. Maybe we can end off a couple minutes early here. Appreciate everybody hanging out during the DAO call. Yeah, it's all good, man. Well, I love you all too. And yeah, we'll see y'all next week, I guess. Friends, have a good weekend. And if we don't see you, yeah, just enjoy all the games coming out. There's a ton going on right now in the Aavegotchi, in the Gotchiverse. So we're definitely living up to our mission. I'll just say that right now. It seems like perfect timing, manifestation, if you will, of this mission statement as we brought it to fruition. We have a ton of experiences out there right now. And yeah, I'm grateful to be here, and see y'all next week.
Sorry. Just getting started, fam. Have a great weekend, everyone. See you in the game center.
Take it easy, guys. I found the respect potion, by the way. Put it in the chat.
Oh, dope. That's pretty nice.
All right. Peace, friends.